You know that feeling when you set a goal, you are excited about it. Maybe you even write it down, and then a week later, it's just sitting there. You still want it, but nothing's really moving. You are busy, you are trying, but there's this gap between wanting something and actually becoming the person who has it. That gap, that's what we are exploring today. Not through motivation, but through a different way of seeing yourself. The book Think and Grow Rich is not really about money. It's about learning to direct your own mind with the same precision you didn't use to build anything else in your life. Point number one, the power of specific desire. A useful way to think about this is that most of us want things in general terms. I want to be successful. I want financial freedom. I want a better life. But here's what Hill invites us to notice: vague wants create vague actions. Why people struggle? We confuse wishing with wanting. A wish is passive. A desire, in Hill's sense, is something you will made specific, written down and attached to a timeline. Most people never cross that line because making it specific makes it real, and that feels vulnerable. How it appears in daily life. Think about the last time you said, I should really learn that skill or I need to start that project. Notice how those thoughts just flowed by. That's a wish. Now think about a time you said, I'm going to finish this by Friday at 3 p.m. Feel the difference. That's a directed desire. Coaching reframe. What if the reason you are not moving forward is not lack of motivation, but lack of clarity? Desire without specificity is just noise in your mind. Ask a question to yourself. Take one thing you want right now. Write it down as a specific outcome with a date. Not I want to save money, but I will have $2,000 saved by June 30th. Notice what happens in your body when you write that. Point number two, faith as a self concept. What this idea invites us to notice is that faith in Hill's framework is not religious, it's about what you believe is possible for you. It's your self concept, the story you tell yourself about who you are. Why people struggle? We inherit beliefs about ourselves from our past, from things people said, from failures we have experienced, from the environment we grow up in, and then we live inside those beliefs as if they are facts. I am not going good with money. I am not a leader. People like me don't do that. How it appears in daily life. Let's say you are in a meeting and you have an idea but you don't speak up. Later you tell yourself, I am just not confident like those other people. That's not a fact. That's belief operating as fact. A college student might avoid applying to certain opportunities because they believe I am not qualified enough yet, even when they meet the criteria. Coaching reframe. Your beliefs about yourself are not permanent. They are just thoughts. You will practice. And if you will practice to one set of thoughts, you can practice another. Ask a question. Write down one belief you have about yourself that limits you. Then ask, where did I learn this? Is still true. What would I need to believe instead of move toward what I want? Point number three, auto suggestion and daily programming. Here's something most people miss. Your mind is always being programmed by your environment, by what you consume, by what you repeat to yourself. Hill's point is simple. If it's going to be programmed anyway, why not program it intentionally? Why people struggle? We think thoughts just happen to us. We scroll, we react, we observe whatever comes our way. We don't realize we are conditioning ourselves with every repeated thought. When you tell yourself, I am so bad at this, every time you make a mistake, you are programming. How it appears in daily life. A professional might start their day reading the news, layoffs, crisis, problems, and wonder why they feel anxious by 9 a.m. Or someone trying to build a business keeps talking about how hard it is, how competitive the market is, and then they are surprised they feel defeated. What you repeat to yourself becomes your reality. Coaching reframe. You can't control every thought that appears, but you can choose which ones you rehearse. That's where your power is. Actioning question. For the next 7 days, write down three specific statements about who you are becoming, not who you are. but who you are becoming, and read them out loud each morning. Notice how this changes the quality of your word, your days. Point number 4, specialized knowledge versus generalized knowledge. What Hill points out, and what's even more true today, is that general knowledge is everywhere, but specialized knowledge, deep skill in one area is what creates value. Why people struggle? We live in a culture that celebrates knowing a little about everything. We skim articles, watch summaries, collect tips, but breadth without depth does not build anything. A person who knows a little about marketing, a little about finance, a little about leadership often feels stuck because they are not truly skilled in any form, any of them. How it appears in daily life. A student might take courses in 5 different fields but never to go deep enough in one to become genuinely capable. A professor might attend workshops and read books but never apply one method long enough to master it. It feels productive, but nothing compounds. Coaching reframe. Mastery in one area will take you further than familiarity with 10. Depth creates leverage. Action question. What's one skill or area of knowledge that if you went deep on it for the next 6 months would genuinely change your life? Not what interesting. What would change your life? Point number 5. Imagination as a tool, not a distraction. Hill distinguishes between two types of imagination: synthetic, rearranging what already exists, and creative, bringing something new into being. Both are tools most people use neither intentionally. Why people struggle? We are taught that imagination is for artists or children. As an adult, we are supposed to be realistic. So we stop imagining that what's possible and start managing what's probable. We lost the ability to see solutions that don't exist yet. How it appears in daily life. You face a problem at work. You think, well, this is just how things are. You list the constraints, the reasons it can't change. That's the absence of imagination. Someone else looks at the same problem and asks, what if we tried this completely different approach? That's imagination as a tool. Coaching reframe. Imagination is not about fantasy, it's about exploring possibilities before you commit to action. It's mental rehearsal, it's asking what if in a useful direction. Action question. Think of the problem you are facing right now. Set a timer for 5 minutes and write it down 10 possible solutions. Don't judge them. Don't edit. Just write. You are not committing to any of them. You are training your imagination to work for you. Point number 6. Organized planning. The bridge between idea and reality. Here's where a lot of people lost themselves. They have the desire, they have the belief, they even have the idea, but there's no bridge between the idea and the results. The bridge is a plan. Why people struggle? Planning feels restrictive. It kills spontaneity, or it feels overwhelming. I don't even know where to start. So people either overplan and never act, or they underplan and act chaotically, then burn out. How it appears in daily life. Someone wants to start a side business. They have the idea, but they never sit down and map out. What are the 10 steps I need to take in order? What's the step 1? When will I do it? So they dabble. They research endlessly. They take random actions, and 6 months later, nothing's built. Coaching reframe. A plan is not a cage, it's a clarity. It's the difference between a wandering and walking with direction. And a plan can change, but you need once to start. Action question. Take your specific desire from point 1. Write down the first 5 actions you did need to take to move toward it. Not everything, just first 5. Then schedule the first one. Point number 7. Decision and the end of procrastination. He found that successful people make decisions quickly and change them slowly. Unsuccessful people make decisions slowly and change them quickly. That's not about being impulsive, it's about clarity and commitment. Why people struggle? We are afraid of making the wrong choice. So we wait, we gather more information, we ask more people, we delay, and in the delay, we leak energy. Indecision is exhausting, it keeps you in a loop. How it appears in daily life. You are considering a job change. You research, you weigh pros and cons. You talk to friends for months. You are not actually deciding, you are managing anxiety. Meanwhile, opportunities pass. or you are trying to build a habit. You keep saying, I'll start Monday. Monday comes and you say, maybe next day, Monday. That's not planning. That's indecision dressed up as a preparation. Coaching reframe. Most decisions are not permanent, but indecision always is. Indecision is a decision to stay where you are. Action question. What's one decision you will be avoiding? Make it today, not the perfect decision, just a decision. Notice what happens to your energy once you choose. Point number 8. Persistence, not as a force, but as a consistency. Persistence is not about grinding harder, it's about showing up consistently. Even when the results are not visible yet, he'll notice that most people quit right before the breakthrough, not because they lack talent, but because they lack persistence. Why people struggle? We expect linear progress. We think effort should equal immediate results. When it does not, we assume it's not working. So we stop. We switch to something else. We restart and we never stay anywhere long enough to see compounding. How it appears in daily life. You start learning a new skill, maybe language, maybe coding, maybe drawing. The first week is exciting. Then second week is harder. By week 3, you are not seeing much improvement. And you think maybe I am just not good at this, so you stop, but the person who keeps going, even though the plateau, is the one who breaks through. Coaching reframe. Progress is not always visible when it's happening. Seeds grow underground before they break the surface. Your job is to keep watering. Action question. Think of something you started and stopped, not because you did not want it, but because you did not see results fast enough. What would change if you committed to it for 90 days, regardless of visible progress? Point number 9. The mastermind. You are shaped by your circle. Hill emphasized this. No one achieves anything significant alone. Your environment, the people you spend time with, the conversations you have, either lifts you or limits you. Why people struggle? We underestimate how much we observe from the people around us. If you are surrounded by people who complain, who doubt, who play small, you will start to think that they way too. Not because you are weak, but because we are social creatures. We mirror our environment. How it appears in daily life. You decide you want to start a business, but your closest friends all have 9 to 5 jobs and think entrepreneurship is risky. Every time you talk about your idea, they list reasons it might not work. They are not being mean, they are being protective. But over time, you stop talking about it and then you stop working on it. Or you are trying to get healthier, but your social life revolves around eating out and drinking. Environment wins. Coaching reframe. You don't need to abandon anyone, but you need to intentionally add people to your life who are moving in direction you want to go. Find a mentor, join a group, engage with people online who are where you want to be. Action question. Who are 5 people you spend the most time with? Write their names down. Now ask, are these people helping me grow? Are they keeping me comfortable? What's one action you can take this week to shift your environment? Point number 10. The subconscious mind and emotional fuel. Our subconscious does not respond to logic, it responds to emotion. Hill insight here that if you want to install a new belief, a new habit, a new direction, you have to attach emotion to it. Otherwise, it's just an idea floating on the surface. Why people struggle? We try to change through willpower and logic. We tell ourselves, I should do this, it makes sense. But if there's no emotional charge, the subconscious does not engage. It's like trying to start a car without fuel. How it appears in daily life. You write down goals at the start of the year. They are reasonable, they make sense, but by February they feel flat. There's no pull compared to a time when you wanted something so badly you could feel it. Maybe it was seeing someone you admit, or hitting a low point and deciding never again, or falling in love with a vision. That emotion carried you through resistance. Watching reframe. Don't just think about what you want, feel what it would be like to have it. Imagine it in detail. Let yourself want it emotionally, not just intellectually. Action question. Close your eyes for 2 minutes. Visualize your specific desire as it if it's already real. Don't just see it, feel it. What does your day look like? How do you feel in your body? Who's around you? Let that feeling soak in. Do this daily. Finally, here's the truth that runs through everything. Hill wrote, you already have what you need, not the result, but the capacity. The capacity to choose a clear desire, the capacity to shift what you believe about yourself, the capacity to show up, to plan, to persist, to surround yourself with the right people, and to direct your mind. This is not about becoming someone else, it's about becoming more of who you already are, underneath the doubt and distraction. So start small, pick one point from today, one action question, do that, let it work on you, and then come back and do the next one. You are not behind, you are exactly where you need to be start. I will see you in the next conversation. Thank you.